Ever wondered why we celebrate Easter with chocolate bunnies and egg hunts? Where did these traditions originate from? Welcome to the best ever, where we unravel the mysteries behind our beloved traditions. Today, we're hopping down the rabbit hole of Easter, from its ancient beginnings to the colorful customs we know and love today. It's time to crack open the egg of history and see what surprises lie within. So, are you ready to embark on this journey? Join us as we delve into the fascinating history and traditions of Easter. To understand Easter, we must first go back in time to the ancient civilizations. The roots of Easter are not as straightforward as one might think. The holiday's origins can be traced back to pagan traditions, specifically the festival of Eostre. This was a springtime celebration in honor of the Anglo-Saxon goddess of dawn and fertility, aptly named Eostre. The festival was held during the spring equinox, a time when day and night are of equal length, symbolizing the perfect balance between light and dark, life and death. Eostre, the goddess, was often depicted with a hare, an animal known for its high fertility rate, thus symbolizing the arrival of new life in spring. It was a time of celebration, a time to welcome the rebirth of nature after the long, cold winter. But as the Roman Empire spread Christianity across Europe, many pagan traditions were absorbed and adapted to fit the new faith. The festival of Eostre was no exception. The Christian church saw the spring equinox as a fitting time to celebrate the resurrection of Jesus Christ, and thus, the pagan festival was Christianized. Over centuries, the celebration of Eostre gradually morphed into the Christian holiday we now know as Easter. The name itself, Easter, is believed to have been derived from Eostra. The holiday's focus shifted from the general celebration of spring's rebirth to the specific celebration of Jesus' resurrection. However, the essence of rebirth and renewal, which was central to the original pagan festival, remains intrinsic to Easter. In Christianity, the resurrection of Jesus is seen as the ultimate act of renewal, promising eternal life to believers. So, when you're hunting for Easter eggs or biting into a chocolate bunny, remember that these traditions have their roots in ancient celebrations of spring and renewal. From a festival of rebirth to a Christian celebration, Easter has indeed come a long way. Eggs and bunnies have become synonymous with Easter, but why? Well, let's rewind back to ancient times. Both eggs and bunnies held significant symbolism in many cultures, and their association with Easter is steeped in these historical perspectives. Let's start with the humble egg. Universally, eggs have been seen as a symbol of life and renewal. In ancient Egypt, Greece, and Rome, eggs were used in religious rituals, and were often associated with deities of fertility. This is because an egg, with its hard shell protecting the potential for new life within, serves as a perfect metaphor for the birth of spring after the cold, barren winter. In early Christianity, eggs took on a new layer of symbolism. They were painted red to represent the blood of Christ, and their hatching became a metaphor for Jesus' resurrection from the tomb. So when you're painting your Easter eggs, you're partaking in a tradition that has been around for centuries. Now on to the Easter Bunny. This adorable creature's origins are a bit more complex. Rabbits, known for their extraordinary reproductive ability, were seen as symbols of fertility and new life by ancient cultures. In fact, the Anglo-Saxon goddess of spring, Eostre, for whom Easter is named, had a hare as her sacred animal. Fast forward to the Middle Ages, the Easter Bunny began to be associated with the Christian holiday. The first written mention of the Easter Bunny was in a German text from the 16th century. The tradition was then brought to America by German immigrants in the 18th century, and it has since become an integral part of Easter celebrations. So, what do eggs and bunnies have in common? Both are potent symbols of new life and rebirth, reflecting the essence of Easter's celebration of resurrection and the arrival of spring. So the next time you see an Easter bunny or an egg, remember it's all about new beginnings. Easter traditions have evolved over centuries, adapting to different cultures and times. The celebration of Easter, like many holidays, has undergone a fascinating transformation over the years, with various customs being introduced and adapted to fit the times. Let's rewind a bit to the Middle Ages. The tradition of egg decorating was already well established. It was during this period that eggs were often painted red to symbolize the blood of Christ. The tradition of egg rolling, too, has roots in the Middle Ages and was seen as a symbolic reenactment of the rolling away of the stone from Christ's tomb. Fast forward a few centuries to the early 17th century. The concept of the Easter Bunny first emerged in Germany. Originally, it wasn't a bunny at all, but an Easter hare. This hare was believed to lay eggs, which children would find in nests they had made in their caps and bonnets. This tradition was carried by German immigrants to America, particularly Pennsylvania, in the 18th century. Over time, the Easter Bunny started to gain more universal recognition. By the late 19th century, the Easter Bunny had become a prominent symbol of Easter in America, and the idea of the bunny delivering eggs had become widely accepted. As we move into the 20th century, the tradition of Easter baskets came into play. The basket served as a nest of sorts, a place where children could leave out their hats and bonnets for the Easter Bunny to fill with eggs. This was a clever combination of the German tradition of the Easter hare laying eggs in nests, with the American tradition of making things a bit more elaborate and festive. Egg decorating too became more elaborate in the 20th century. What started as simple red eggs evolved into intricate designs and patterns. The tradition of the Easter egg hunt also emerged during this time, adding yet another layer of fun to the Easter celebration. As we entered the 21st century, Easter traditions continued to evolve, with new ones being added and old ones being adapted to fit the times. Easter egg hunts have become community events, egg decorating has reached new levels of creativity, and the Easter Bunny has become a beloved character who not only delivers eggs but also chocolates, candies, and even small gifts. These changes to Easter traditions reflect the dynamic nature of cultural practices. They adapt and evolve, taking on new forms and meanings as they are passed down through generations. Easter, with its mix of religious and secular traditions, is a testament to this cultural evolution. So the next time you're painting Easter eggs or setting out your Easter basket, remember that these traditions have a long and fascinating history. They're not just fun and games, but a link to centuries of cultural evolution. From simple symbols of life to elaborate traditions, Easter has truly evolved. Today, Easter has become a holiday celebrated by many, regardless of religious beliefs. It's a time when communities come together, families reconnect, and children laugh with glee as they hunt for brightly colored eggs in backyards and parks. But Easter is so much more than egg hunts. In the heart of the city, you'll find Easter parades, a spectacle of vibrant colors, creative costumes, and festive floats. These parades have become a symbol of unity and joy, drawing crowds from near and far to partake in the celebration. And let's not forget the food. Easter feasts have evolved to include a mix of traditional and contemporary dishes. From roasted lamb, a nod to early Christian tradition, to chocolate bunnies and marshmallow chicks, the Easter table is a testament to the diversity and evolution of this holiday. While these traditions may seem purely fun and festive, they carry a deeper meaning. They symbolize a sense of renewal, a fresh start that aligns with the arrival of spring. It's a time when we put away the old and welcome the new in our lives and within ourselves. As we celebrate Easter in these modern times, we see a blend of old and new, religious and secular, each tradition adding a unique flavor to this much-loved holiday. Easter, a time of rebirth, new beginnings, and joyful celebrations. Now that we've journeyed through the history and traditions of Easter, let's summarize what we've learned. We began at the dawn of time, uncovering Easter's roots in early Christian and pagan rituals. We then hopped into the significance of bunnies and eggs, symbols embodying new life and renewal, adopted by Christians to represent the resurrection of Jesus Christ. Our journey continued through the centuries, observing how Easter traditions have evolved, from the simple act of painting eggs to elaborate Easter bonnet parades and egg hunts. We saw how these customs have transcended borders, uniting cultures worldwide in a common celebration of Easter. Finally, we arrived at the present day, where Easter remains a beloved holiday, filled with joy, family gatherings, and of course, chocolate. Easter is more than just a holiday, it's a celebration of life, new beginnings, and joy. Thank you for joining us on this journey through Easter's rich history and traditions.